Alright, and we have panic at the disco. XRP has lost that 201 level. Now remember, we gotta follow our rules here. Over the past months now, since December, we've been looking at $2.01. Now here's a quick update on my XRP trade. I did exit, but not the entire thing. Okay, I did take partials off the table. Recall once again, we've been riding XRP since 60 cents. This was our first buy-in right here. The second buy-in came in at $1 right here, and the third one came in at $1.21. Now on the break of this 201 level, I have taken partials off the table. No, I have not exited the entire thing. I'm going to be giving you my reasoning today. If you exited your entire position, then that's completely fine as long as you are actually following your rules. Now, do I believe that XRP is coming down lower? Yes, I do. In fact, in my previous video, I gave you guys downside target. Here's a quick recap. Today, I want to give you guys the next downside target. Let's say Bitcoin holds its bull run signature, crypto is still within its bull run, but XRP closes underneath $2.01. What do we do then? What happens then? How far low does XRP go? Now, I know that many of you guys are looking at the massive head and shoulders pattern, but I don't think we get to the measured move of that pattern, which, believe it or not, takes XRP down to 66 cents. Now, I don't think we're getting there as first stops. I have been looking at the momentum on XRP's chart, especially on the momentum throughout this entire range right here. My price target system is telling me that the next major downside target on XRP comes in at around $1.48. All right, let's pause. Fast forward to right now. Here is the target at around $1.48. Now you see why support works really well. We barely saw a close underneath $2.01, and this is now looking like a waterfall. Now I get it. A lot of you guys are looking at this massive head and shoulders pattern, and you're looking at this as the trigger. But in my opinion, yes, there is a head and shoulders pattern, but this has a drooping neckline. You're seeing lower lows on the neckline, telling me this hasn't triggered just yet. Now, the price action on drooping necklines actually signifies growing technical weakness, and oftentimes you can look for waterfalls like these down to the neckline. However, we gotta play patterns with the rules that we have across the board, which means wait for the break of the neckline, because that's gonna give you a solid short opportunity. Because what I like about this is that the neckline actually confluences with that $1.47 region right there. Now, for those of you playing the minor swings, this was the previous trade opportunity from 201 down to $1.47. However, the next one is going to be from $1.47 all the way down to the measured move of that head and shoulders pattern, which only comes in at around 83 cents. If you're looking to trade the shorts and still looking for a good exchange, then of course check out the link in the description below to BitUnix. That's the one that we're currently using. There's a crazy deposit bonus campaign that's running right now. You can get $100 for just a $500 deposit. This is free money at the corner of the room, so make sure you're taking advantage of it. But now let's actually address the elephant in the room. Krisha, why didn't you sell your entire position? Why did you only take out partials? Well, the first reason is this. My cost basis on XRP was actually really good. Like, even at $1.48, I'll still be in profits on the entire position, so I don't need to necessarily jump the gun if there's a chance that the bull market picks up once again. Now, what are the chances of the bull market picking up once again? Well, I'm sticking to my system on the bull run, guys. Bull run is going to be dependent on what Bitcoin is doing. For as long as Bitcoin holds its cyclical support, I'm saying, okay, there's still a chance that the bulls might step in right here, which can have cascading effects onto the alts as well. Now, I personally don't think that price action is out of equilibrium on its levels. Okay, if I'm being honest, I'm calling a spade a spade. What's happening right now is something that's happening across the board in crypto, in TradFi, everywhere. Right? But as far as Bitcoin cyclicals are concerned, we're looking at the biweekly dynamic. Notice there is no close underneath the biweekly dynamic just yet. If we're looking at price actually living underneath that dynamic support, well, we had something very similar right here too, where this candle right here on the week of July 29th, it swept out all the lows. This looked like one big red candle looking to close underneath the biweekly dynamic, only for the bulls to step in right here last minute and pick prices up to defend dynamic support. So for me personally, I think it's imprudent to not wait on the candle close before making a decision on the cycle. Speaking of cycle, guys, Mango Dashboard today, I'll be uploading a premium video specifically on the cycle analysis. So make sure you catch that. You guys can find this on app.mangoresearch.co. XRP right now, shorts across the board. 4 hour looks a bit frothy, telling me that the bears might be getting exhausted, but One thing to contradict that is, well, the 12-hour volatility and the daily volatility, 42.60, that's looking really, really healthy, telling me that the bears actually have a bit more juice left in them on XRP, which makes sense because $47 is going to be that major level that I look towards, which is another 10% from here. That being said, I'll be looking for a clean close of Bitcoin underneath its cyclicals for me to get entirely bearish on this cycle. As soon as Bitcoin does that, I'm saying XRP is also likely toast. I take what's on the table and we're likely heading into bear market look for the short opportunities. But in addition to bi-weekly dynamic, we were also looking at the monthly 10 simple moving average, which I agree, it's not looking too good right now. But still, guys, we cannot possibly jump the gun, because imagine had you jumped the gun right here. Were you rewarded in all those times? No. And if there's one observation I've made, is that Bitcoin is actually quite generous on the monthly 10 SMA break. Now, this is through experience. It might not be true this time around. However, just to tell you what I mean by that, is that when Bitcoin breaks like this, right? There's a nice clean, clear close. It'll give you a retest, it'll make you think that, okay, things can recover, but no, rejection, and then waterfall down. Okay, even COVID had like a nice, neat close underneath that 10 simple moving average, right? It was not a volatile close, but it was a close telling you, okay, this is a decision point. Now, decision is yours. You either get out or you stay in for the blood. Even the same thing right here. Notice it was so close to the monthly 10 SMA, a nice decisive close underneath. We got a retest over, another close under, and then that's when the bear market started in earnest. Now, until that happens, I'm going to be taking XRP's downside targets one step at a time, which is why I'm going to be looking at that 84-cent target through an if this then that lens. If Bitcoin gets propelled into bear market territory, only then will I be looking for 84 cents. And that's going to be a really, really handsome trade from $1.47 down to 84. That's going to be a good 43% on that move to the downside. Great shorts across the board. However, before that, I'm going to be looking at this entire waterfall dump through a swing trader's perspective. I'll be taking it one swing at a time. Okay, support, resistance. And believe me, guys, there are some great trades that can be captured if you just play the ranges right now. Now, here's another thing essentially telling me that, hey, take it one range at a time. Don't jump the gun on the lowest target on the chart, okay, which is this. Put on your monthly dynamic. Monthly dynamic also swinging in with $1.47. Right, there's a lot of confluence in that level right now. We have the neckline of the head and shoulders pattern. We have $1.47, which, by the way, is a target that I have derived through just XRP's current momentum. All right, so $1.47 was that target, but now $1.47 is also lining up with a monthly dynamic support, which is why personally I'm going to be playing it one range at a time, and which is why I also only took out partials off the table. If that changes, if my plan changes, I'll come out here, I'll be honest with you guys, and I'll give it to you on a platter. So far, we've stuck to our rules because that's the only way we can quantify our success. And yes, we've been rewarded because on the break of 201 we've seen this final meltdown. If, by the way, the cycle holds, I will consider adding back in at around $1.47. Okay, of course, if anything changes, I'm going to come out here and give you guys the update. Today we're going to be having a live stream, so make sure you hit the sub and the bell icon, and I will see you tonight. If you're panicking, and especially if you're in a spot position, clear your mind, take a walk. If you're looking for a fun community to chill with, join our Discord chat at themangoWay.com/Discord. I'm going to see you guys in there. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the Mango Way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.